Shalom, Rakam, Kal Yisrael. How's your peace, Israel? Welcome back to another video. And we're going to be continuing in Bamidbar, Hasafah, chapter 25. And it reads on this wise. The context is Baal worship at Peor. And it reads, While Israel lived in Shittim, the people began to whore with the daughter of Moab. These invited the people to the sacrifices of their gods, and the people ate and bowed down to their gods. So Israel bowed down to their gods. So Israel yoked himself to Baal of Peor. And the anger of the Lord was kindled against Israel. And the Lord said to Moses, Take all the chiefs of the people and hang them in the sun before the Lord, that the fierce anger of the Lord may turn away from Israel. Each of you kill those of his men who have yoked themselves to Baal of Peor. And behold, one of the people of Israel came and brought a Midianite woman to his family, in the sight of Moses, in the sight of the whole congregation of the people of Israel, while they were weeping in the entrance of the tent of the meeting. When Phinehas, the son of Eleazar, son of Aaron the priest, saw it, he rose and left the congregation and took a spear in his hand, and went after the man of Israel into chamber, and pierced both of them, the man of Israel and the woman through her belly. Thus the plague on the people of Israel was stopped. Nevertheless, those who died by the plague were 24,000. The context here is it was the zeal of Phinehas. And the Lord said to Moses, Phinehas, as the son of Eleazar, son of Aaron the priest, has turned back my wrath from the people of Israel, in that he was jealous with my jealousy among them, so that I did not consume the people of Israel in my jealousy. Therefore say, Behold, I give to him my covenant of peace, and it shall be to him, his descendants after him, the covenant of a perpetual priesthood, because he was jealous for his God and made atonement for the people of Israel. The name of the slain man of Israel who was killed with the Midianite woman was Zimri, the son of Salu, chief of a father's house belonging to the Simeonites. And the name of the Midianite woman who was killed was Cosbi, the daughter of Zior, who was the tribal head of her father's house in Midian. And the Lord spoke to Moses, saying, Harass the Midianites, and strike them down, for they have harassed you with their wiles, with which they beguile you in the matter of Peor, and in the matter of Cosbi, the daughter of the chief of Midian, their sister, who was killed on the day of the plague on the account of Peor. Context of the next part is census of the new generation. Chapter 26. It says, After the plague, the Lord said to Moses and to Eleazar, the son of Aaron, the priest, Take a census of all the congregation of the people of Israel from 20 years old and upward by their fathers' houses, all in Israel who are able to go to war. And Moses and Eleazar the priest spoke with them in the plains of Moab by the Jordan at Jericho, saying, Take a census of the people from 20 years old and upwards, as the Lord commanded Moses. The people of Israel who came out of the land of Egypt were Reuben, the firstborn of Israel, the son of Reuben, of Hanoch, the clan of Hanochites, of Palu, the clan of the Paluhites, and Hezron, the clan of the Hezronites, of Carmi, the clan of the Carmites. These are the clans of the Reubenites, and those listed were 43,730. And the sons of Palu, Eliab, Nemuel, Dathan, and Abiram. These are the Dathan and Abiram, chosen from the congregation, who contended against Moses and Aaron in the company of Korah, when they contended against the Lord, and the earth opened its mouth and swallowed them up together with Korah, when the company died, when the fire devoured 250 men, and they became a warning. But the sons of Korah did not die. So that's quite interesting, because in that bit it talks about that their whole family was consumed, but it says, but the sons of Korah didn't die. The sons of Simeon, according to their clans, of Nemuel, the clan of Nemuelites of Jamin, the clan of the Yemenites of Yakin, the clan of the Yakinites of Zerah, the clan of the Zerites of Shaul, the clan of Shaulites. These are the clans of the Simeonites, 22,200. The sons of Gad, according to their clans, Zephon, the clan of Zephonites of Haggai, the clan of the Haggites of Shuni, the clan of Shunites of Ozni, the clan of the Ozinites of Orid, the clan of the Eriites, uh, of Eri, the clan of the Eriites of Arad, the clan of the Orodites of Areli, the clan of the Arielites. These are the clans of the sons of Gad as they were listed, 40,500. The sons of Judah were and Onan, and and Onan died in the land of Canaan. And the sons of Judah, according to their clans, were Shelah, the clans of Shelonites of Perez, the clan of the Perizzites of Zerah, the clan of the Zerites, and the sons of Perez were Hezron, the clan of the Hezronites of Humul, the clan of the Hemulites. These are the clans of Judah as they were listed, 76,500. The son of Issachar, according to their clans of Tola, the clan of the Tolaites of Puvah, the clan of the Punites of Yashub, the clan of the Yashubites of Shimron, the clan of the Shimronites. These are the clans of Issachar as they were listed, 64,300. The sons of Zebulun, according to their clans of Sered, the clan of the Seredites of Elon, the clan of Elionites of Yaleel, the clan of the Yahalelites. These are the clans of the Zebulunites as they were listed, 60,500. The sons of Joseph, according to the clans Manasseh and Ephraim, the sons of Manasseh of Machir, the clans of Machirites, and Machir was the father of Gilead, and of Gilead the clan of the Gileadites. These are the sons of Gilead of Ezer, the clan of the Ezerites of Helek, the clan of the Helekites, and of Ezrael, the clan of the Ezraelites and of Shechem, the clan of the Shechemites, and of Shemida, the clan of the Shemidaites, and of Hefer, the clan of the Heferites. Now Zelophehad, the son of Hefer, had no sons, but daughters. And the names of the daughters of Zelophehad were Mahalah, Noah, Hoglah, Amilcah, and Tirzah. These are the clans of Manasseh, and those listed were 52,700. These are the sons of Ephraim, according to the clans of Shethuelah, the clan of the Shethulanites of Becher, the clan of the Becherites of Tahan, the clan of the Tahanites. And these are the sons of Shethuelah of Iran, the clan of the Aaronites. These are the clans of the sons of Ephraim as they were listed, 32,500. These are the sons of Joseph according to their clans. The sons of Benjamin according to their clans of Bela, the clan of the Belaites of Ashbel, the clan of the Ashbelites of Ahiram, the clan of the Ahiramites of Shafu Paham, the clan of the Shaphumites of Hufam, the clan of the Hufamites. And the sons of Bela were Ard and Naaman of Ard, the clan of the Aradites of Naaman, the clan of the Naamites. These are the sons of Benjamin according to their clans, and those listed were 45,600. These are the sons of Dan according to the clans of Shehuam, the clan of the Shehumites. These are the clans of Dan according to their clans. All the clans of the Shehumites, as they were listed, were 64,400. The sons of Ashar, according to their clans, of Imnah, the clan of the Imnites of Ishvi, the clan of the Ishviites of Beriah, the clan of the Barites, of the sons of Bariah, of Heber, the clan of the Heberites, of Malkael, the clan of the Machielites, sorry. And the name of the daughter of Asher was Sarah. These are the clans of the sons of Asher as they were listed, 53,400. The sons of Naphtali, according to their clans of Yaziel, the clan of the Yazielites of Guni, the clan of the Gunites of Yezer, the clan of the Yezerites of Shiliem, the clan of the Shiliamites. These are the clans of Naphtali according to their clans, and those listed were 45,400. This was the list of the people of Israel, 601,730. The Lord spoke to Moses, saying, among these the land shall be divided for inheritance, according to the number of names. To a large tribe you shall give a large inheritance, and to a small tribe you shall give a small inheritance. Every tribe shall be given its inheritance in proportion to its list, but the land shall be divided by lot, according to the name of the tribes. Of their fathers they shall inherit. You see that? Another importance that you are of your father. Their inheritance shall be divided according to the lot between the larger and the smaller. This was the list of the Levites according to their clans: Gershon, the clan of the Gershonites; Kohath, the clan of the Kohathites; of Merari, the clan of the Merari of the Merarites. These are the clans of Levi: the clan of the Libanites, the clan of the Hebronites, the clan of the Mahalites, the clan of the Mushites, the clan of the Kohites, and Kohath was the father of Amram. The name of Amram's wife was Jochebed, the daughter of Levi, who was born in Levi in Egypt, and she bore to Amram Aaron and Moses and Miriam, their sister. And to Aaron were born Nadab, Abihu, Eleazar, and Ithamar. But Nadab and Abihu died when they offered unauthorized fire before the Lord, and those listed were 22,000, every male from a month old upwards, for they were not listed among the people of Israel, because there was no inheritance given to them among the people of Israel. These were those listed by Moses and Eleazar the priest, who listed the people of Israel in the plains of Moab by the Jordan of Jericho. But among these there was not one of these listed by Moses and Aaron the priest, who had listed the people of Israel in the wilderness of Sinai. For the Lord had said for the Lord had said of them, they shall die in the wilderness. Not one of them was left, except Caleb the son of Jephunneh and Joshua the son of Nun. When chapter in the context of this was chapters the context of this is the daughter of Zelophehad, right? Chapter 27. Sorry, I think it's like bit have. My tash was in my lip. It says, then draw near the daughters of Zelophehad, the son of Hefer, the son of Gilead, the son of Machir, the son of Manasseh, from the clans of Manasseh, the son of Joseph. The names of his daughters were Mahalah, Noah, Hoglah, Milcah, and Tirzah. And they stood before Moses and before Eleazar the priest and before the chiefs and all the congregation at the entrance of the tent of the meeting, saying, our father died in the wilderness. He was not among the company of those who gathered themselves together against the Lord in the company of Korah, but died for his own sin. And he had no sons. Why should the name of our father be taken away from his clan because he had no sons? Give to us a possession among our father's brothers. Moses brought their cause before the Lord, and the Lord said to Moses, the daughters of Zelophehad are right. You shall give them possession of an inheritance among their father's brothers, and transfer the inheritance of their father to them. This is quite interesting. I've never seen this before. The father has transferred. Look, read this. He says, you shall give the possession of inheritance among their father's brothers. Oh, well, hold on. Let's read this again. Sorry, let's go back a bit. He says he had no sons, right? So this man died. He had no sons, right? Why should the name of our father be taken away from his clan because he had no son, but he had daughters? All right. He says, "Give to us possession among our father's brothers." Right. So as you can see, it says, "You shall give them possession of an inheritance among their father's brothers and transfer the inheritance of their father to them." So the father's actually given. This is actually where we are seeing a transfer of inheritance from a father to a daughter. Hallelujah. You're okay. So I think this is spiritual, man, because I've just come. Oh, but no, yeah, okay. So I'm trying to think. Sorry, I'm thinking of something quite personal to myself, right? But this is the fact that he had no sons. So if he has any sons, it doesn't matter what age, that would be the transfer should go to him. But if she has no, if you have no sons, you should transfer the inheritance to the daughters, because the fathers permitted it. He says, "And the Lord said to Moses, the daughters of Zelophehad are right. You shall give them possession of an inheritance among their father's brothers, and transfer the inheritance of their father to them. And you shall speak to the people of Israel, saying, If a man dies and has no son, then you shall transfer his inheritance to his daughter. And if he has no daughter, then you shall give his inheritance to his brothers. And if he has no brothers, then he shall give his inheritance to his father's brothers. And if his father has no brothers, then he shall give his inheritance to the nearest kinsman of his clan, and he shall possess it. And it shall be for the people of Israel a statute and a rule as the Lord commanded Moses." This is good. This one, I actually didn't. I don't think I've read this, but it's helpful because obviously there's many situations where you have, you might not have daughters, right? You might not have sons, so you have to give it to your daughters. Anyway, the context is Joshua to succeed Moses. The Lord said to Moses, "Go up into the mountain of Abarim and see the land that I have given to the people of Israel. When you have seen it, you also shall be gathered to your people as your brother Aaron was, because you rebelled against my word in the wilderness of Zin, when the congregation quarreled, failing to uphold me as holy at the waters before their eyes. These are the waters of Meribah of Kadesh in the wilderness of Zin." Moses spoke to the Lord, saying, "Let the Lord, the God of the spirits of all flesh, appoint a man over the congregation, who shall go out before them and come in before them, and shall lead them out and bring them in, that the congregation of the Lord may not be as sheep that has no shepherd." So the Lord said to Moses, "Take Joshua the son of Nun, a man in whom is the Spirit, and lay your hand on him. Make him stand before Eleazar the priest and all the congregation, and you shall commission him in their sight, and you shall invest them with some of your authority, that all the congregation of the people of Israel may obey. And he shall stand before Eleazar the priest, who shall inquire for him by the judgments of the Urim before the Lord. At his word they shall go out, and at his word they shall both come in, both he and all the people of Israel with him. The whole congregation, and Moses did as the Lord commanded him. He took Joshua and made him stand before Eleazar the priest and the whole congregation, and he laid his hands on him and commissioned him as the Lord directed through Moses. Chapter 28. Context is daily offerings. The Lord spoke to Moses, saying, "Command the people of Israel, say to them, my offering, my food for food offering, my pleasing aroma, you shall be careful to offer to me at its appointed time. And you shall say to them, This is the food offering that you shall offer to the Lord: 2 male lambs, a year old, without blemish, day by day, as a regular offering. The one lamb you shall offer offer it in the morning, and the other lamb you shall offer at twilight. Also, a tenth of an ephah of fine flour for a grain of offering, mixed with a quarter of hin of beaten oil. It is a regular burnt offering which was ordained at Mount Sinai for a pleasing aroma, a food offering to the Lord. Its drink offering shall be a quarter of hin for each lamb. In the holy place you shall pour out a drink offering of strong drink to the Lord. The other lamb you shall offer at twilight, like the grain offering of the morning, like it's a drink offering. You shall offer it as a food offering with pleasing aroma to the Lord. Okay, verse 9 says, the context is Shabbat offering. It says, on the Shabbat day, two male lambs a year old without blemish, and 2/10 of the ephod of fine flour for a grain offering, mixed with oil, and its drink offering. This is the burnt offering of every Shabbat, besides the regular burnt offering and its drink offering. Context, monthly offerings. It says, at the beginnings of your months you shall offer a burnt offering to the Lord, 2 bulls from a herd, 1 ram, 7 male lambs a year old without blemish. Also 3/10 of an ephod of fine flour for a grain offering, mixed with oil for each bull, and 2/10 of fine flour for a grain offering mixed with oil for the 1 ram, and a tenth of fine flour mixed with oil as a grain offering for every lamb, for a burnt offering with a pleasing aroma, a food offering to the Lord. Their drink offering shall be a half a hin of wine for a bull, and a third of a hin for a ram, and a quarter of a hin for a lamb. This is the burnt offering of each month throughout the months of the year. Also, 1 male goat for a sin offering to the Lord. It shall be offered besides the regular burnt offering and its drink offering. Context is Passover offerings. On the 14th day of the first month is the Lord's Passover, and on the 15th day of this month is a feast. 7 days shall unleavened bread be eaten. On the first day there shall be a holy convocation. You shall do any ordinary work, but offer a food offering, a burnt offering to the Lord. 2 bulls from the herd, 1 ram, and 7 male lambs a year old. See that they are without blemish. Also their grain offering of fine flour mixed with oil. 3/10 of an ephah shall you offer for a bull, and 2/10 for a ram. A tenth shall you offer for each of the 7 lambs. Also 1 male goat for a sin offering to make an atonement for you. You shall offer these besides the burnt offering of the morning, which is for a regular burnt offering. In the same way you shall offer daily for 7 days the food of a food offering with a pleasing aroma to the Lord. It shall be offered besides the regular burnt offering and its drink offering. And on the 7th day you shall have a holy convocation. You shall not do any ordinary work. Offerings for the Feast of Weeks. That's what this context is. Verse 26 says, on the day of the first fruits, when you offer a grain offering of new grain to the Lord at your Feast of Weeks, you shall have a holy convocation. You shall do no ordinary work, but offer a burnt offering with a pleasing aroma to the Lord. 2 bulls from the herd, one ram, 7 male lambs a year old. Also their grain offering for fine flour mixed with oil. 3/10 of an ephah for each bull, 2/10 for 1 ram, a tenth for each of the 7 lambs, with 1 male goat to make atonement for you. Besides the regular burnt offering and its grain offering, you shall offer them and their drink offering. See that they are without blemish. There's offerings for the Feast of Trumpets. This is chapter 29, verse 1. It says, on the first day of the 7th month, you shall have a holy convocation. You shall not do any ordinary work. It is a day for you to blow the trumpets. And you shall offer a burnt offering for a pleasing aroma to the Lord. 1 bull from the herd, 1 ram, 7 male lambs a year old without blemish. Also their grain offerings of fine flour mixed with oil. 3/10 of an ephah for the bull, 2/10 for the ram, and 1/10 for each of the 7 lambs, with 1 male goat for a sin offering to make atonement for you. Besides the burnt offering of the new moon and its grain offering, and the regular burnt offering and its grain offering, and the drink offering according to the rule for them, for a pleasing aroma, a food offering to the Lord. Context, offering for the Day of Atonement. And on the 10th day of the 7th month, you shall shall have a holy convocation. Afflict yourselves. You shall do no work, but you shall offer a burnt offering to the Lord, a pleasing aroma. One bull from the herd, one ram, seven male lambs, a year old. See that they are without blemish, and their grain offering shall be of fine flour mixed with oil. 3 tenths of an ephah for the bull, 2 tenths for the one ram, a tenth for each of the seven lambs. Also one male goat for a sin offering, besides the sin offering of atonement, and the regular burnt offering, and its grain offering, and their drink offerings. Offerings for the feast of booths. It's the context. Verse 12, it says, on the 15th day of the 7th month, you shall have a holy convocation. You shall do no ordinary work, and you shall keep a feast of the Lord 7 days, and you shall offer a burnt offering, a food offering with a pleasing aroma to the Lord. 13 bulls from the herd, 2 rams, 14 male lambs, a year old. They shall be without blemish, and their grain offering of fine flour mixed with oil. 3 tenths of an ephah for each of their 13 bulls. 2 tenths for each of the 2 rams, and a tenth for each of the 14 lambs. Also one male goat for a sin offering, besides the regular burnt offering, its grain offering, and its drink offering. On the second day, 12 bulls from the herd, 2 rams, 14 male lambs, a year old, without blemish, with the grain offering and the drink offerings for the bulls, for the rams, and for the lambs, in the prescribed quantities. Also one male goat for a sin offering, besides the regular burnt offering and its grain offering and their drink offerings. On the third day, even bulls, 2 rams, 14 male lambs, a year old, without blemish, with the grain offering and a drink offering, for the bulls, for the rams, and for the lambs, in the prescribed quantities. Also one male goat for a sin offering, besides the regular burnt offering and its grain offering and its drink offering. On the fourth day, 10 bulls, two rams, 14 male lambs, a year old, without blemish, with the grain offering and the drink offering for the bulls, for the rams, and for the lambs, in the prescribed quantities. Also one male goat for a sin offering, besides the regular burnt offering, its grain offering, and its drink offering. On the fifth day, 9 bulls, two rams, 14 male lambs, a year old, without blemish, with the grain offering and the drink offering for the bulls, for the rams, and for the lambs, in the prescribed quantities. Also one male goat for a sin offering, besides the regular burnt offering, and its grain offering, and its drink offering. On the 6th day, 8 bulls, 2 rams, 14 male lambs, a year old, without blemish, with the grain offering and the drink offerings for the bulls, for the rams, and for the lambs, in the prescribed quantities. Also one male goat for a sin offering, besides the regular burnt offering, its grain offering, and its drink offering. On the 7th day, sorry, let me just sit up a bit. On the 7th day, 7 bulls, 2 rams, 14 male lambs, a year old, without blemish, with the grain offering and the drink offering for the bulls, for the rams, and for the lambs, in the prescribed quantities. Also one male goat for a sin offering, besides the regular burnt offering, its grain offering, and its drink offering. On the 8th day you shall have a solemn assembly. You shall not do any ordinary work, but you shall offer a burnt offering, a food offering, with a pleasing aroma to the Lord. 1 bull, 1 ram, 7 male lambs, a year old, without blemish, and the grain offering and the drink offerings for the bull, for the ram, and for the lambs, in the prescribed quantities. Also 1 male goat for a sin offering, besides the regular burnt offering and its grain offering and its drink offering. These you shall offer to the Lord at your appointed feasts, in addition to your vow offerings and your freewill offerings, for your burnt offerings and for your grain offerings, and for your drink offerings and for your peace offerings. So Moses told the people of Israel everything just as the Lord had commanded Moses. We're in chapter 30. We're moving swiftly. Context is here, men and vows. It says, Moses spoke to the heads of the tribes of the people of Israel, saying, this is what the Lord has commanded. If a man vows a vow to the Lord, or swears an oath to bind himself by a pledge, he shall not break his word. He shall do according to all that proceeds out of his mouth. If a woman vows a vow to the Lord and binds herself by a pledge while within her father's house in her youth, and her father hears of her vow and of her pledge by which she has bound herself, and says nothing to her, then all her vows shall stand, and every pledge by which she has bound herself shall stand. But if her father opposes her on the day that he hears of it, no vow no vow of hers, no pledge by which she has bound herself shall stand, and the Lord will forgive her, because her father opposed her. If she marries a husband while under her vows, or any thoughtless utterance of her lips by which she has bound herself, and her husband hears of it, and says nothing to her on the day that he hears, then her vows shall stand, and her pledges by by which she has bound herself shall stand. But if on the day that her husband comes to hear of it and he opposes her, then he makes void her vow that was on her, and the thoughtless utterance of her lips by which she bound herself, and the Lord will forgive her. But any vow of a widow or of a divorced woman, anything by which she has bound herself, she shall stand against her. And if she vowed in her husband's house, or bound herself by a pledge with an oath, and her husband heard of it, and said nothing to hear, and did not oppose her, then all her vows shall stand, and every pledge by which she bound herself shall stand. But if her husband makes them null and void on the day that he hears them, then whatever proceeds out of her lips concerning her vows, or concerning her pledge of herself, shall not stand. Her husband has made them void, and the Lord will forgive her. Any vow and any binding oath to afflict herself, her husband may establish, or her husband may make void. But if her husband says nothing to her from day to day, then he establishes all her vows, all her or all her pledges that are upon her. He has established them, because he has said nothing to her on the day that he heard of them. But if he makes them null and void after he has heard of them, then he shall bear her iniquity. These are the statutes that the Lord commanded Moses about a man and his wife, and about a father and his daughter while she is in her youth within her father's house. So these are dealing with the vows. We're not really supposed to be taking vows. It talks, the Mashiach talks about us that we shouldn't be taking vows. It says, "Let your yea be yea, your nay be nay." There's no need for you to say, "I'll do this." Uh, you know, you make an oath for someone that I promise I'll do this, or there's no need, because once you break it, then you're now in sin. You see what I'm saying? You rather just say what you can and what you can't do. Don't be making promises and stuff like this. Chapter 31, vengeance on Midian. It says, the Lord spoke to Moses, saying, avenge the people of Israel on the Midianites. Afterward, you shall be gathered to your people. So Moses spoke to the people, saying, arm men from among you for the war, that they may go against Midian to execute the Lord's vengeance on Midian. You shall send 1,000 from each of the tribes of Israel to war. So there were provided out of the thousands of Israel 1,000 from each tribe, 12,000 armed for war. And Moses sent them to the war 1,000 from each tribe, together with Phinehas the son of Eleazar the priest, with the vessels of the sanctuary, and the trumpets for the alarm in his hands. They warred against Midian, as the Lord commanded Moses, and killed every male. They killed the kings of Midian with the rest of their slain, Evi, Echem, Zur, Hur, and Reba, the 5 kings of Midian. And they also killed Balaam, the son of Beor, with the sword. And the people of Israel took captive the women of Midian and their little ones, and they took as plunder all their cattle, their flocks, and all their goods, all their cities in the places where they lived, and all their encampments they burned with fire, and took all the spoil and all the plunder, both of man and of beast. Then they brought the captives and the plunder and the spoil to Moses and to Eleazar the priest and to the congregation of the people of Israel at the camp on the plains of Moab by the Jordan at Jericho. Okay? Okay, so Moses and Eleazar the priest. Okay, actually, just a quick one, because we were looking at in the previous video, just to give you a bit more context about what's happening here. We're dealing with the land, and we were looking prior to this. This is what the land. So this is where Moab is, right? So they tried to say that Jericho is up here, right? But you can see here, as we just read, Yeah, we just on verse 12. It says, "Then they brought the captives and they plundered and the spoil to Moses and to Eleazar the priest and to the congregation of the people of Israel at the camp on the plains of Moab." So this is the plains of Moab, right? That's the plains of Moab by the Jordan at Jericho, right? So this is what we would class as this is the what they call it, the Salt Sea. But here, you know, is where Moab is, and Jericho is obviously going to be. So what they would have classed, I don't know. Maybe this because this is the Jordan, right? This is the Jordan. The Jordan is what is going. Yeah, it's going up the Jordan River. It's going through, and this is what they class as the Salt Sea or whatnot. So I don't know what area they would have depicted as the where the what the Jordan is. Maybe it was more closer to here, but this is where Jericho is. This is Jericho is here. This is the plains of Moab. It's not up here. It couldn't be, right? Just look at the geographical reference here. Moses and Eleazar the priest and all the chiefs of the congregation went to meet them outside the camp, and Moses was angry with the officers of the army, the commanders of the thousands and the commanders of hundreds, who had come from the service in the war. Moses said to them, "Have you let all the women live? Behold, these on Balaam's advice caused the people of Israel to act treacherously against the Lord in the incident of Peor. And so the plague came among the congregation of the Lord. Now therefore kill every male among the little ones, and kill every woman who has now who has known man by lying with him. But all the young girls who have not known man by lying with him, kept alive for yourself. Encamp outside the camp 7 days. Whoever of you has killed any person, and whoever has touched any slain, purify yourselves and your captives on the third day. And on the seventh day, you shall purify every garment, every article of skin, all work of goat's hair, and every article of wood. Then Eleazar the priest said to the men in the army who had gone to battle, "This is the statute of the Lord that the Lord commanded Moses. Only the gold and the silver, the bronze, the iron, the tin, and the lead, everything that can stand the fire, you shall pass through the fire, and it shall be clean. Nevertheless, if you shall also, it shall also be purified with the water for impurity." And what so anything that's passed through fire is purified. So I see when they had the guys that were burnt, I think it was the 250 people that were burnt up. They had the censers in their hands, right? And it was burnt up. Why they said that, I think it was in Numbers, was talking about that it was the sense they took the senses because they were purified. It's because you purify things with fire. You see what I'm saying? You can see it's purified here, and it also then you can also purify it with the water of impurity, which is really, I think, water mixed with ashes, I believe. And whatever you cannot stand with, and whatever cannot stand the fire, you shall pass through the water. You must wash your clothes on the seventh day, and you shall be clean. And afterwards you may come into the camp. The Lord said to Moses, "Take the account of the plunder that was taken both of man and of beast, you and Eleazar the priest and the heads of the fathers' houses of the congregation, and divide the plunder into two parts between the warriors who went out to battle and all the congregation, and levy for the Lord a tribute from the men of war who went out to battle, 1 out of 500 of the people, and of the oxen, and of the donkeys, and of the flocks. Take it from their half and give it to Eleazar the priest as a contribution to the Lord. And from the people of Israel, half you shall take, one drawn out of every 50 of the people, of oxen, of the donkeys, and of the flocks, of all the cattle. Give them to the Levites who keep guard over the tabernacle of the Lord." And Moses and Eleazar the priest did as the Lord commanded Moses. Now the plunder remaining of the spoil that the army took was 675,000 sheep, 72,000 cattle, and 61,000 donkeys, and 32,000 persons in all, women who had not known man by lying with them, and the half the portion of those who had gone out in the army numbered 337,500 sheep. And the Lord tribute of sheep was 675,000. The cattle were 36,000, of which the Lord's tribute was 72. The donkeys were 30,500, of which the Lord's tribute was 61. The persons were 16,000, of which the Lord's tribute was 32 persons. And Moses gave the tribute, which was the contribution of the Lord, to Eleazar the priest, as the Lord commanded Moses. From the people of Israel's half, which Moses separated from that of the men who had served in the army. Now the congregation's half was 337,500 sheep, 36,000 cattle, and 30,500 donkeys, and 16,000 persons. From the people of Israel, half Moses took one of every 50, both of persons and of beasts, and gave them to the Levites who kept guard over the tabernacle of the Lord, as the Lord commanded Moses. Then the officers who were over the thousands of the army, the commanders of thousands and the commanders of hundreds, came near to Moses and said to Moses, "Your servants have counted the men of war who are under our command, and there is not a man missing from us. And we have brought the Lord's offering, that what each man found, articles of gold, armlets and bracelets, signet rings, earrings, and beads, to make atonement for ourselves before the Lord." And Moses and Eleazar the priest received from them the gold, all crafted articles, and all the gold of the contribution, and they presented to the Lord. From the commanders of thousands and the commanders of hundreds was 16,750 shekels. The men in the army had each taken plunder for themselves. And Moses and Eleazar the priest received the gold from the commanders of thousands and of hundreds, and brought it into the tent of the meeting as a memorial for the people of Israel before the Lord. Now we're in chapter 32. The context is Reuben and Gad settling in Gilead. Now the people of Reuben and the people of Gad had a very great number of livestock, and they saw the land of Yazer. Okay, so this is where the children of Gad and Reuben settled. Okay, we're just going to use this as a geographical roadmap for this. Okay, so you can see it says, now the people of Reuben and people of Gad had a very large number of livestock, and they saw that the land of Jezer and the land of Gilead, and behold, the place was a place for livestock. So this is Jezer. So this is where Gad dwelt. Right? You can see that they actually depicted Gad here, right? And Gilead. I don't know if you can see Gilead here. No. I don't see Gilead here at all. If you see it, let me know. And it says, so the people of Gad and the people of Reuben came and said to Moses and to Eleazar the priest and to the chiefs of the congregation, Ataroth, Dibon, Yazer, Nimrah, Heshbon. So we're seeing these names here, right? Dibon, Yazer. We're seeing it here, though. Yazer, we're seeing Dibon. What else are we seeing? Sebam, do we see Sebam? We saw Nebo. No, yeah, Nebo's there, Mount Nebo. And then we've got, is it beyond there? No. Oh yeah, there's Ramioth, Gilead. Yeah, so you see Gilead's there. You know. And let's continue. Beyond the land that the Lord struck down before the congregation of Israel is a land for livestock, and your servants have livestock. And they said, if we have found favor in your sight, let this land be given to your servants for a possession. Do not take us across the Jordan. But Moses said to the people of Gad and to the people of Reuben, shall your brothers go to war while you sit here? While you sit here? Why will you discourage the heart of the people of Israel from going over into the land that the Lord has given them? Your fathers did this when I sent them to Kadesh Barnea to see the land. For when they went up to the valley of Eshcol and saw the land, they discouraged the heart of the people of Israel from going into the land that the Lord had given them. And the And the Lord's anger was kindled on that day, and he swore, saying, Surely none of the men who came up out of Egypt from 20 years old and upward shall see the land that I swore to give to Abraham, to Isaac, and to Jacob, because they have not wholly followed me. None except Caleb, the son of Jephunneh, the Kenizzite, and Joshua, the son of Nun, for they have wholly followed the Lord. And the Lord's anger was kindled against Israel, and he made them wander in the wilderness for 40 years until all the generations that had done evil in their sight of the Lord was gone. And behold, ye have risen in your father's place, a brood of sinful men, to increase still more the fierce anger of the Lord against Israel. For if you turn away from following him, he will again abandon them in the wilderness, and you will destroy all this people. Then they came near to him and said, We will build sheepfolds here for our livestock and cities for our little ones, but we will take up arms ready to go before the people of Israel until we have brought them to their place. And our little ones shall live in the fortified cities because of the inhabitants of the land. We will not return to our homes until each of the people of Israel has gained his inheritance. Hallelujah. Right? For we will not inherit with them on the other side of the Jordan and beyond, because our inheritance has come to us on this side of the Jordan to the east. So Moses said to them, If you will do this, if you will take up arms to go before the Lord for the war, and every armed man of you will pass over the Jordan before the Lord until he has driven out his enemies from before, and the land is subdued before the Lord, then after that you shall return and be free of obligation to the Lord and to Israel, and this land shall be your possession before the Lord. But if you will not do so, behold, you have sinned against the Lord, and be sure your sin will find you out. Build cities for your little ones and folds for your sheep, and do what you have promised. And the people of Gad and the people of Reuben said to Moses, Your servants will do as the Lord commands. Our little ones, our wives, our livestock, all our cattle shall remain there in the cities of Gilead, but your servants will pass over, every man who is armed for war before the Lord to battle as many Lord orders. So Moses gave command concerning them to Eleazar the priest, and to Joshua the son of Nun, and to the heads of the fathers' house of the tribes of the people of Israel. And Moses Moses said to them, If the people of Gad and the people of Reuben, every man who is armed to battle before the Lord, will pass with you over the Jordan, and the land shall be subdued before you, then you shall give them the land of Gilead for a possession. However, if they will not pass over with you armed, they shall have possession among you in the land of Canaan. And the people of Gad and the people of Reuben answered, What the Lord has said to your servant, we will do. We will pass over armed before the Lord into the land of Canaan, and the possession of our inheritance shall remain with us beyond the Jordan. And Moses gave to them, to the people of Gad and to the people of Reuben, and to the half the tribe of Manasseh, as you can see. So if we go back, right, you'll see that they're on the other side of the Jordan. This is the Jordan River. It goes through, right? You can see it goes through, and this is the Salt Sea, right? Now, you'll find that you can see Manasseh's got his portion, Gad and Reuben. Now, you notice that we know that Joseph was the first. We've got the first, but got the birthright. Why? Because Manasseh, who's his firstborn son, got the double portion. Look, you see, he's got a portion of land here, and he's got a portion here. He's got a double portion. Oops, portion. You can see that. You see what I'm saying? He got the double portion, which only shows that Joseph is got the firstborn. Oh, he got the birthright. Sorry. But did he get the firstborn blessing? That's the question. His blessing is very strong. If not, I would say he probably did. And let's continue. Okay, so Moses gave to them, to the people of Gad, and to the people of Reuben, and to half the tribe of Manasseh, the son of Joseph, the kingdom of Sihon, the king of the Amorites, and the kingdom of Og, king of Bashan, the land and its cities with their territories, the cities of the land throughout the country. And the people of Gad built Dibon. So I'm trying to see if there's Dibon there. Can we see Dibon there? I don't see it. Dibon there. Anyway. Dibon, Atorah, Aurora, I think Aurora is there. I'm pretty sure I saw that. Oh, but it's here though. So I think there's a bit of a mix-up here. By the way, it says, oh, he gave, okay. He said the people of Gad built up Dibon, Atorah, Aurora, Aroth, Shofan, Yezer. You know, I think they've messed it up a bit because they've got Aurora here. Yeah, so that's what these maps are a bit off because he's from Dibon is here, and that says that Gad built up. Maybe they did. Jazer, Jogbehar, Beth Nimara, Beth Haran, fortified cities, and fold for sheep. And the people of Reuben built Heshbon, which is here, Eliela, Kitharium, Nebo, so that's here. So it's a bit of a mix up here. Like it seems like Gad's had like this area here. I don't know. There's definitely they don't know. I don't think they know whereabouts some of these things, but they don't 100% know. Like they've just put because there's a mix up here because this technically these are supposed to be Gad, and then Jazer is supposed to be Reuben. I know Mount Nebo is supposed to be Reuben, but this is supposed to be Gad apparently. Dibbo and Aurora. And let's continue. Baal, Meon, the names that were changed, and Sibma, and they gave other names to the cities that they built. And the sons of Machir, the sons of Manasseh, went to Gilead and captured it, and dispossessed the Amorites who were in it. And Moses gave Gilead to Machir, the son of Manasseh, and he settled in it. And Jair, the son of Manasseh, went and captured their villages and called them Yevoth Yarah. And Nobath went and captured Kenath and its villages and called it Nobath after his own name. So Manasseh took Gilead, which I guess this is his Ramoth Gilead. So I guess this is the area here. So it's a bit slightly confused, I think, with you know what's happening here. Even they're saying that Mount Hermon is in the areas of Manasseh. I don't know how true that is. But verse chapter 33, recounting Israel's journey, says, these are the stages of the people of Israel when they went out of the land of Egypt by their companies under the leadership of Moses and Aaron. Moses went down their starting places, stage by stage, by command of the Lord. And these are their stages according to their starting places. They set out for Ramesses in the first month on the 15th day of the first month on the day after the Passover. The people of Israel went out triumphantly in the sight of all the Egyptians, while the Egyptians were burying all their firstborn, whom the Lord had struck down among them on their gods. Also the Lord executed judgments. So the people of Israel set out from Ramesses and camped at Sukkot, and set out from Sukkot and encamped in Etham, which is on the edge of the wilderness. And they set out from Etham and turned back to Pi-Haroth, which is east of Baal Zephon, and they camped before Megiddo. And they set out from before Hitharoth and passed through the midst of the sea into the wilderness. And they went 3 days' journey in the wilderness of Etham and camped at Marah. And they set out from Marah and camped in Elim. And Elim there were 12 springs of water and 70 palm trees. And they camped there. And they set out from Elim and camped by the Red Sea. And they set out from the Red Sea and camped in the wilderness of Sin. And they set out from the wilderness of Sin and camped at Dofka. And they set out from Dofka and camped at Ilush. And they set out from Ilush and camped at Rephidim, there where there was no water for the people to drink. And they set out from Rephidim and camped in the wilderness of Sinai. You'll find out on my Instagram. You'll find that there's a video on where they, the rock which split and water came out. It's actually in Mount Sinai. In Mount Sinai. It's in Saudi Arabia, close to where Mount Sinai is. So it only shows that the area. If you watch the previous live that I did, it shows you where they actually fled through. Okay. And they set out from Rephidim and camped in the wilderness of Sinai. And they set out from the wilderness of Sinai and camped from Kibroth Hitava. And they set out from Kibroth Hatava and camped out at Hazeroth. And they set out from Hazeroth and camped at Rithama. And they set out from Rithama and camped at Rimon Perez. And they set out from Rimon Perez and camped at Libnah. And they set out from Libnah and camped at Rissah. And they set out from Rissah and camped at Kehalatha. And they set out from Keliatha and camped at Mount Shafar. And they set out from Mount Shafar and camped at Harada. And they set out from Harada and camped at Macheloth. And they set out from Macheloth and camped at Tahath. And they set out from Tahath and camped at Terah. And they set out from Terah and camped at Mithka. And they set out from Mithka and camped at Hashmonah. And they set out from Hashmonah and camped at Mezeroth. And they set out from Mazeroth and camped at Bene Ya'akan. And they camped out from Bene Ya'akan and camped at Hor Hagidgad. And they set out from Hor Hagidgad and camped at Yotbathar. And they set out from Yotbathar and camped at Abrona. And they set out from Abrona and camped at Ezion Geber. And they set out from Ezion Geber and camped in the wilderness of Zin, that is Kadesh. And they set out from Kadesh and camped at Mount Hor on the edge of the land of Edom. And Aaron the priest went up Mount Hor of the command of the Lord and died there in the 14th year after the people of Israel had come out of the land of Egypt on the first day of the 5th month. And Aaron was 123 years old, and when he died on Mount Hor, and the Canaanite, the king of Arad, who lived in the Negeb, and the Canaanite, the king of Arad, who lived in Negeb in the land of Canaan. Again, so let's go back here. So the Negev is the south, right? That's what it means. And the Arad is this area here. Look, we're seeing it here. This is Arad. Tel Arad is the Tel Arad temple is just a bit to the left, right? If we go back to the other map, you'll find that you see Arad is here. Yeah, this is where they would have crossed. This is the Jordan River is coming through this. You see this? This is the River Jordan, right? And you'll find that this is the Salt Sea right here, but this is still the Jordan River here. You understand? So this is where they passed across, okay? And you'll find that this is Arad and Tel Arad, which is actually where Mount Zion is. This is the Tel Arad temple here. And if you zoom in even more, you'll start to see this area here. This is Jerusalem. As you can see, there is like gates here. You see, like this is like a wall, it's like fortified. This is Jerusalem, right? It was a place for trade as well. A place where you live, but it was also a place of trade. Anyway, so let's continue. So he says, and the Canaanite king of, in verse 40, he says, and the Canaanite king of Arad, who lived in the Negeb in the land of Canaan, heard of the coming of the people of Israel. And they set out from the Mount Hor and camped at Zelamonah. And they set out from Zelamonah and camped at Punun. And they set out from Punun and camped at Oboth. And they set out from Oboth and camped at Abarim in the territory of Moab. Right? So that's, this is Moab. I think this area, the Moab part's accurate because this river is what allows us to know the border of Moab. So we just know that where this river is, that's where Moab is. That's the border of Moab. So that's how the rivers is what's going to give us understanding. Anyway, and they set out from Iyim and camped at Dibon, Gad, which is this area. So this is typically where, well, we don't know if that's the area of where Dibon is, but Dibon is where Gad is. And And they set out from Dibon Gad and camped at Ilimon Dibalathayam. And they set out from Ilimon Dibathalim and camped in the mountains of Abarim before Nebo. Right? That's Mount Nebo. Okay. And then and they set out from the mountains of Abarim and camped in the plains of Moab by the Jordan of the Jericho. So this is here. This is the Jordan would have been here, right? As we can see, the bit where we are seeing here, you know, when we come out. Okay, so you see this land bit here. This bit is protruding out here. That's this part here. Okay, so it's obviously not very visually made well there, but you can obviously clearly see that this is the bit that we crossed, and this is where the Jordan River would have been flowing. You see, at that time it would have been slightly different. This is very modern now, but there would have been a land area where we would have tried to cross, and the river would have been what? And this is Masada. This is what we class as Jericho. Okay, it's the fortress Masada. It's the fort. There's a fort here, which if this is it, is it? I think that's it. No. There is a fortress here, which, if anyone wants to look, you'll find that the walls of Jericho, they talk about them walking around the walls of Jericho. It was difficult to conquer the place because it was on a hilltop, right? So they had to walk around it. And that's what caused the walls of Jericho to fall down. You see what I'm saying? That's why that was the only way that they could conquer the place. Because anyone who understands battle strategy knows that when you try to go to war, any place that is fortified and is on a hill, is virtually impossible to conquer, especially if they've got like bowmen and things like this. You'll literally die. They'll just be shooting you down as you're trying to like find ways in. You see what I'm saying? So that's what Jericho was. The walls of Jericho. It was on a hill. It was difficult for them to conquer the place. So the only way that they could do it, they walked around 7 times, and then the walls came down. Right. That's what is the song of the walls of Jericho. Yeah. And that's a wrestling move by a particular wrestler. Anyway, Chris Jericho, I believe. And that's quite interesting that they called it the walls of. There's a guy, he's a wrestler called Jericho, and he called the walls of Jericho. Where did they get the names from? They're clearly getting it. These are biblical names, right? Anyway, and they set out from the mountains of Arabim, camped in the plains of Moab by the Jordan of Jericho. They camped by the Jordan from Besheth Imoth as far as Abel Shittim in the plains of Moab. The context of this part is drive out the inhabitants. And the Lord spoke to Moses in the plains of Moab by the Jordan of Jordan at Jericho, saying, "Speak to the people of Israel and say to them, when you pass over the Jordan into the land of Canaan, then you shall drive out all the inhabitants of the land from before you, and destroy all their figured stones, and destroy all their mental images, and demolish all their high places. And you shall take possession of the land and settle in it. For I have given the land to you to possess it. You shall inherit the land by lot according to your clans. To a large tribe you shall give a large inheritance, and to a small tribe you shall give a small inheritance. Wherever the lot falls for anyone, that shall be his, according to the tribes of your fathers, you shall inherit. But if you do not drive out the inhabitants of the land before you, then those of them whom you let remain shall be as barbs in your eyes and thorns in your sides, and they shall trouble you in the land where you dwell, and I will do to you as I thought to do to them." Okay, I'm going to end it here because it's got to that cut-off period of an hour mark. It's just generally a good time to end. I only hope the reader and listen to this word will be blessed by this. We are constantly getting ourselves to break bread, i.e., spiritual bread with these scriptures. We're reading cover to cover. We want to close this whole book down and even start again afresh and, digest this thing. Start really imprinting it in our subconscious mind. So we don't need to think, we don't need to read, it's natural. It's like you trying to ride, you riding a bike now. You once you've learned to ride a bike, you just jump on the bike and you cycle. You see what I'm saying? That's well, we need to understand this whole historical aspect to it, as well as the spiritual aspect, as well as the community aspects to the scriptures, because there's many things in the scriptures that we can benefit from. It says that scripture is profitable, right? But it does say that we should buy knowledge, but we should never sell it. You see. So may Yahweh bless you, may Yahweh keep you, may Yahweh shine his face upon you, may Yahweh be gracious to you, may Yahweh lift up his countenance upon you, and may Yahweh grant you everlasting peace in Yeshua HaMashiach's name I pray. Selah.